TiE is a transformational organization, not a transactional organization.
This is the one space I say in my life where I can completely remove any transaction from it and just focus on the good I want to do.
How do you guys differentiate vis-a-vis some of these, successful organizations like YPO, EO, ASSOCHAM, BNI?
We don't compete with anyone. We work with anyone who can benefit the mission of TiE.
TiE is not an organization, it's a movement.
TiE cannot be the entrepreneur ecosystems of Silicon Valley, London, Mumbai. Take that power down to more grassroots level.
A very good morning to all of you. This is a very special episode of TiE Talks. The reason I say it's special is because today we have, technically 3 presidents in the room, but 2 global chairs, one past chair of the Global Trustees, Amit Gupta, who's also been my predecessor as the president of TiE Singapore, Mr. Murli Bookapatnam, who's the current chair of the Global Trustees at TiE Singapore. And we're going to have some fun, talk about leadership, continuity, what TiE means for the ecosystem, where is TiE headed. So, TiE 101. All right, Murli, firstly, thank you for coming.
Prantik, thank you for having me. And it is, as always, good to be here with Amit, and you, Puneet, and all the rest of the Singapore gang. It's like I'm quite excited.
Amit, I know you had a crazy schedule. Thanks for I pulled you out from a client meeting, but I could not do this. The eagle has landed. We had to have a 30-minute quick fire chat. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Prantik. Thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here. And clearly, Murli, over the last 12 months of being the global chair, has had a lot of PR script training. He has said very kind things.
Murli, you've been part of TiE for a long time, president of TiE, Hyderabad, and now the global role. What does TiE mean for you?
For me, TiE is one of these beautiful organizations which is the voice of entrepreneur. The Indian diaspora has given this beautiful organization for the entrepreneurs to be the voice of entrepreneur. So I personally eat, sleep, and breathe TiE.
I can see that. Amit, you've obviously spent a lot of your time outside India as well, apart from India, New Zealand, in Singapore, Southeast Asia, APAC, managing businesses. What's your lens of TiE and the role of TiE outside in countries where TiE may be relatively new?
It's beyond an organization. It brings the collective impact of leaders and their capabilities together. It's what galvanizes that. There are very few conversations that I have where TiE doesn't come into it. And I think like Murli said very rightly, and I can vouch for that, like he lives, breathes. I don't really know how much time he really spends at home, but he does spend a lot of time, energy, and commitment and passion to TiE. And I think we are all very privileged about that. And I think there are a lot of leaders like that in TiE.
Oh, so true. I've seen both of you in action, whether at the city level or global. And, you guys literally are ambassadors and champions of TiE and the notion that it represents. And, both of you are entrepreneurs. So I'm going to ask for specific examples. What has TiE specifically, if you can give one example from maybe your term at the global level or at Singapore, done that you feel very proud about, in terms of impact of TiE, whether in your entrepreneurial journey or, when you were serving as the chair?
I would have to say, and of course, Prantik, you're part of that as well, is what we did during COVID. I think to me, that was my life changer. I think it changed my life. I think it changed a lot in TiE. I think it changed the belief for people. For the purpose of the audience and some of the TiE members who are new, I'm referring to the I Breathe for India COVID fundraiser that we did. It was a small thing that came up, and Prantik, you were one of us 4, you, me, Ashish, and Rajiv, got together and said, hey, we should do something. We are entrepreneurs, we are investors. One thing snowballed into what effectively became India's largest fundraiser for COVID relief, celebrity fundraiser. And the whole global community of TiE came in. And very grateful to the chair then, Praveen Telam, who said, hey, I said, look, we can only create the impact if it's global. And he did that. I was talking to Lara Datta, who championed this for us just day before yesterday. Yeah. And we were reminiscing, and she said, I couldn't believe what was achieved. And she said, I have the deepest respect for what TiE brings.
Yeah, that initiative is very close to my heart because that was just about a year since I joined TiE, and under your leadership, again, to my favorite memory from there was the power of the network, Murli. I remember one night, Amit and I were on a call, and then we dropped literally a short email to Mr. Vinod Khosla.
Right.
And bang, within 30 minutes came a one-liner saying, here's $1 million commitment to add to what you guys are doing.
Right.
Just couldn't believe myself, right? And of course, and I must say this, it was not just about the money with people like Ashish and so many others on ground in India. It was about what's the best utilization of the fund. Like one of the things I'll never forget, everyone was doing oxygen concentrators, but someone beautifully came and said, you know what, maybe we should do something long-term sustainable. And I still remember Ashish and a few members from some chapters in India said, maybe some of the money should be utilized to create a oxygen generating sort of a mechanism in a hospital, which will, outlast this.
Correct.
And I think that's the beauty. Like it's the purpose, the capital, the ideas all coming together for something that's long lasting, right? Murli, your example in terms of the specific role or impact that TiE has had to you, the entrepreneur, or any specific initiative that, has been meaningful to you?
So Prantik, before I get there, I want to acknowledge what Amit had told me, right? 2022 March, we were doing a presser for TiE Global Summit in Hyderabad.
Right.
And then until then, we were doing TiE Global Summit in like silos, right? One chapter. Then Amit said, Murli, the TiE Global Summit cannot be a silo. It has to be a movement, right? For me, that word stuck with me because for me, TiE is not an organization, it's a movement, right? It is that collective energy of all the leaders of various backgrounds, experiences coming together and creating that movement of entrepreneurship, and how that word, permeates all across, right? Yeah. And that's where now I want to talk about this particular initiative, which creates so much of, inception, if I may use that word, right? The TiE Young Entrepreneurs. It is almost about a 16-year-old program.
Yeah. We have it in Singapore now.
Fantastic. This is one program which started as an initiative for the kids of charter members.
Yeah.
Then it suddenly took its own shape and said it has to be much beyond.
Yeah.
And how do we create the entrepreneurial mindset between the 9th grade and 12th grade kids? And today, now fast forward, when I get a tap on my shoulder in a Delhi airport with one of the first cohort members and said, "Sir, do you remember?" I said, I don't. But then the butterflies, that effect, right? Yeah. And when you see a $1 billion, valued company out of Atlanta, who is, in the third cohort of TiE, you know the kind of impact TiE has created. Because the entrepreneurs, the charter members who shared their experiences with the young kids and nurtured them to be these entrepreneurs who are creating. So for me, the word movement, right? It is so much, synthesizes and symbolizes what TiE does and what TiE is and what TiE can be. Right? So
beautiful. I'm going to ask a quick question because a lot of people who are perhaps not aware of TiE or not members of TiE, they often ask me this, hey, how do you guys differentiate vis-a-vis some of these successful organizations like YPO, EO, ASSOCHAM, BNI? Each one has their own place, but I would love to get your lens too, if you get asked. Maybe Murli, I'll start with you. How do you differentiate?
Great question, Prantik. My one word answer to that is that TiE is a transformational organization, not a transactional organization, right? TiE is about transformation, learning from each other, right? Showing up at every place, every time and say, hey, what can I pick up? That single nugget which I can pick up, right? So for me, TiE is a transformational organization and not a transactional organization. That's TiE for me.
Well said. Amit, your views?
Yeah. So just to build on what Murli said, I think like YPO and EO, I have a lot of respect for those organizations.
And we have a lot of overlap.
We have a lot of overlap. And there's a lot of learnings and we exchange. There's a lot of thought exchange between our three organizations. I think the one fundamental difference is, I think you named like YPO, EO. I think they all have different purposes. And I can't speak for their purpose. But what I do know is like YPO and EO is a great community, not so much about as much as networking, but more about creating a support structure for the members with each other.
Yeah.
Right? I think they do a fantastic job. Actually, we take the forums, we take some learnings from that. I think Murli, you've implemented that in TiE Hyderabad very successfully. I've actually joined some of your forum discussions, right, as a guest. So, but then you have the BNIs. They're also great. They're more networks where they engage with each other to create business opportunities together for each other, right? I think TiE is different. TiE is not about selling into TiE, not about selling to each other. I think it is about the collective power of the network to do good outside. So one is a network to support ourselves, which is the YPO and EO. TiE is really a community which is really about bring the power of the network to serve others.
Yeah.
A net giver community, right? And I think that fundamentally differentiates TiE, because everything that we do is for others, not for ourselves. When we are doing things together, as successful people, as fund owners, as entrepreneurs, people, this is the one space I say in my life is where I can completely remove any transaction from it and just focus on the good I want to do. So it gives me that platform to be able to channel my good. And I actually get to meet with a lot of other people, like both of you and lots of others who are trying to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
I love the notion of transformative or the transformational power and good for the world, something you always write and speak about. Let's sort of reflect on the history of TiE. I think when I joined, someone had passed me, I presume Puneet or one of these leaders had passed me that document, House of TiE, right? And I'm sure both of you would have obviously read that many times. Amit, I'll start with you. When you read that document today, maybe give me two things, right? What have we achieved and what is still, yet to be achieved?
I think the journey is still very ongoing, and I think it'll continue to evolve. I think TiE, the one thing that TiE has done very well in the last 33 years
33
is we have managed to transform and evolve with every shift, economic shifts, geopolitical shifts, and demographic shifts that we are seeing, right? So I think some of the things that we have done really well is inculcate the values and make that institutionalized all around.
Right.
66 chapters now, Murli?
68.
68. I know Murli has been adding a lot of chapters this year. I think the piece that needs to be done, and I think which is what Murli, your focus has been this year, is to take that power down to more grassroots level, right? TiE cannot be the entrepreneur ecosystems of Silicon Valley, London, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Singapore. These cannot be the only ones that are beneficiaries of Dubai, Hong Kong. We have to take it down to the next tiers. And I think that's what you've been doing. So I'll probably hand that off to Murli.
Yeah, your thoughts of what have we achieved? And just for everyone's context, this is a document written by the great C.K. Prahalad.
C.K. Prahalad.
Right?
I mean,
there's a lot of depth and a lot of meaning in that document.
No, I mean, the man is a genius, right? I mean, imagine writing a document 33 years back and still, absolutely as fresh as it is today, right? We use this day in and day out and say, and he only said, TiE, if it has to be a powerful organization, powerful movement, it has to be a global in nature, right? Whether it is an entrepreneurs in Nashville or is an entrepreneurs in Idaho, right? Or the entrepreneurs in Ichapuram in Andhra Pradesh, right? If they have to get benefited, TiE has to be there. See, TiE started as an organization for the underserving communities or underserving ecosystems. See, 33 years back, Silicon Valley and the Indian diaspora were the underserving community.
Of course.
So today, you always have to remember, TiE is a catalyst in a chemical reaction. We speed up, we scale up that particular moment. So how can you accelerate, right? I mean, Ho Chi Minh City is one which we are looking at, right? Bangkok, Nepal, right? So we are about 8 new places we are looking where completely underserved ecosystems. And as Amit said, this is where the collective power, the 4,000 people, charter members, the net givers can come together and create it. So one thing which I'm so proud of myself, Prantik, which I did was as a homage to Dr. C.K. Prahalad. In Coimbatore, in his hometown, we launched what we call as a TiE Engage platform, which, we started this strategy exercise under the leadership of Amit last year, right? We all met in Delhi. And one of the things was the digital communication hub. So we launched it this year. It is active. Almost about 1,800 charter members are on that platform. So that's what we are trying to keep.
What a fantastic gesture.
Kanwal put a post out with the House of TiE yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
And if you remember, Murli, I think the first document that we put out during our BOT term was
is the House of TiE.
And the 9 principles. In there,
absolutely.
Right? So I think we firmly believe in that. I think he was obviously a very visionary individual who had foreseen what TiE should be looking at, not today, but even in the future. So he's actually future-proofed a lot of our thought process. And by the way, as you're talking about TiE Engage, you asked about other communities like YPO, for example. When we were exploring this, we did consult some of the board members of YPO and said, how is that working for you guys? One thing I always like to think about TiE is we don't compete with anyone. We work with anyone who can benefit the mission of TiE.
Absolutely.
Anyone, right? As long as they're doing it for the right reasons, and we will partner with them.
We are a true catalyst, Prantik.
Yeah.
So we just there
I
to
like that
accelerate
analogy,
that. Yeah.
the chemical reaction.
Yeah, chemical reaction.
And I'll tell you, when I speak to founders here, right, because two things that I really, because again, we, as the legendary C.K. Prahlad said, at the end of the day, we are sort of serving the entrepreneurs. So when I ask some of the entrepreneurs, what I like, again, I'm not comparing with other organizations, but the two things that comes up from their side is that TiE does not have, you're not looking at an age categorization or a revenue or your wealth, right? If you're an entrepreneur, and as you rightly said, underserved ecosystems, we're there to help. So one of our founders, he actually said, Gaurav, who runs a digital healthcare business, and he participated in a TiE Angels program. His point was, look, I got some money, but the biggest value was back then, this is 2020, someone in TiE Boston, he had never been to Boston. He said they opened their doors, they opened their hearts. The point I'm trying to make is the warmth of TiE. This is something that I have seen myself. The point being catalyst. Something led to something, which weirdly, he says, eventually he raised a big round from Saudi and Japan, but it all had connections from Singapore to Boston, and eventually it led to Saudi, right? Okay. And you never know where the dots connect, right? And the warmth, I think that's beautiful. The second part is, even as a president of Singapore, I remember going to Dallas. I've never been to Dallas till last July. And, Ram and some of the other folks, it was amazing. I suddenly met 10 people who I would have otherwise never met. And it was not a formal business meeting, like you said, Amit. It was just connecting, building relationships, right? Yeah. It is priceless. Amazing. All right. What I'm going to ask about is leadership continuity, because it's a very rare moment that I have, one past chair and one current chair. Amit, if you had to summarize your term, what are the 2 or 3 things that are the highlights of your term that you're very proud of?
No, other than meeting me, but
well,
Amit, only 2 or 3.
I will though say, I feel it's been a little bit unfair, because when I was chair, I had the benefit of having Murli with me. The first for me was actually understanding the true power of TiE, which I'd seen very close up, but I hadn't been in the middle of it. Right at the epicenter.
Yeah.
To see, and as we discussed in the BOT, like, what can we do more of, what can we do less of, what is going to create more impact? I think that visibility. So the TiE program is one such example. Sure, as in the past I'd experienced it, but I think when you're in the midst of things, you see it very, very close up. And I saw the real impact of that. Young kids from 33 chapters being flown to Silicon Valley, spending 3 days at TiECon, at Googleplex, at Stanford, right? Like meeting the Y Combinator team. How powerful is that for kids who are not even 18?
Yeah.
Right? It can have life-changing experience. I think the ability to very quickly galvanize for key outcomes, like we wanted to create some outcomes for Bhutan or whichever parts we wanted to, whatever the differences or difference of opinions that people might have had on things, which is always the case in a board.
Sure.
No one ever stopped good outcomes.
Absolutely.
Like, good outcome, let's work towards that. We'll deal with, we will refine this along the way. So that entrepreneurial spirit towards, creating the right outcomes for the larger ecosystem and not letting anything get in the way of that. I think that was my biggest learning. And I think that's what the true value of TiE is. And it starts right at the top with the BOT.
No, thanks, Amit, for driving that. I think, I've seen you in action. I think just even getting that process of the strategic review done with Amit and many others, I think because you've always got to evolve.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the organization always has a risk of sort of, becoming stale.
I think I also benefited from the fact that I think Murli had been on the BOT longer than I had.
Yeah.
I think Murli had seen a lot close up. I think we made a great team. The one thing that Murli and I, since you talked about continuity, that Murli assured me, he said, hey, these are things, the core principles we have agreed on. I will make sure that we will continue on these and build on his own vision, but we'll continue on these. And I think that to me has been my, it's been one of the best transitions that we've had.
And take me through that, because at the airport, exactly what he told me.
So Prantik, that's exactly right. That. So when I always aspired to be the chair, right?
Yeah.
But as Amit said, once an aspiration, but once you are in the middle of that,
Yeah.
It's a completely different ball game, right? You get a different vision.
Yeah.
Then on that day, January 6th, I decided that I am not going to create my own agenda.
Nice.
If it is truly a movement, I need to build upon what we have done last year before that.
Yeah.
And many
Amit,
more before that.
Yeah, absolutely. But Amit, what we did last year under your chairmanship was that we documented what has happened in the last previous years.
Right.
We had created a framework, right, with the help of Raman Roy, Amit Mokim, right? Most importantly, we had Pramath Sinha, who had come down and spent a day with us, and he didn't do a strategy work, but he put a mirror to us and said, guys, this is what you guys need to first change, right? And I said, that is what I'm going to work on. This is an agenda which was set. And if we as a TiE have to continue as a leadership, right? You can't keep changing. Every
Strategy,
chairman come, I'm setting that doesn't know. So again, you're restarting. I had categorically said that I am not going to reinvent the wheel. I'll pick up from where. So it is a relay race, right? I picked up the baton from Amit. I ran a race a little bit. So today we have 68 chapters. We have 7 in pipeline. So probably by end of this year, maybe end of January, we'll get to 75. But I'm hoping that the next leadership will bring it to the 100 chapters as I have envisioned it, right? But we have already started the digital communication hub. Great progress we have made. We have created a new sponsorship policy enabling all the chapters. Again, the work which started from Amit, and we brought it, right? I mean, he worked with Alok Mittal from Delhi. He worked with Atul Dhawan from Delhi. Then I took it, worked with Mahavir, Madan and others and said, boss, simple, one pager. This is what it is, simple, right? Create it. For me, that is the continuity. That is the leadership, right? So we both, I want to be very clear. I found a brother. My best time is working with Amit, and I have no doubt because we gelled together. We said, this is what we want to do. It's not that we didn't have differences, but that is a very important thing that every leader will have a difference of opinion. But how you get through and how you see the greater vision, right? Which we both were able to see that.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. And I remember Murli telling me that, because, like dissonance on a board is, is good. You need to have differences because otherwise you have groupthink, right? I remember Murli saying, hey, look, we may have disagree on certain things, but I tell you what, I will back all the decisions that are made and I will back you 100%, which he did. And I think I have learned a lot working with Murli in that. And I think just wanted to add one more piece, just the TiE values, right? Like I was just thinking as you were talking about like the strategy piece that Amit and Raman and BJ and all worked on. And whenever there was a call for something, like we're going to go to Gift City, help them. Or we're going to go to Bhutan. Bhutan is the only place where Murli couldn't come because he had to go, he was on book for a holiday with his family. But every other time, like strategy meeting in Delhi, people fly in, like Rakesh Kamdar flying in from the US. Raman was there everywhere. I know how much Raman hates sitting on a plane and getting on those things, but he would turn up everywhere, right? And I think, and remember, all of the people in TiE, including yourself, Prantik, all charter members, whenever we give back or do anything, we do it at our expense.
Of course.
Not a dime gets expensed to TiE, right? Which I think is so good. It keeps the organization so transparent. But it also really brings out who are the people who really are committed to giving back. Yeah. Because we are all giving money to different philanthropy causes.
Absolutely.
Why not put some here where there's collective impact?
Yeah. Now, gentlemen, we've come to the close of this session. I'm going to put you guys on a spot, 3 to 4 rapid fire questions. Okay. Amit, I'm going to start with you. Your favorite entrepreneur?
Steve Jobs.
Yours?
I would say Steve Jobs. I'm as nutty as him.
Looks like the groupthink is working here. Okay. Amit, if you had to give... if you have to, picture TiE in 2030, another 5-6 years away, what's the one thing that you would want to be changed or something to be different in 2030?
Just pervasive into the next year of ecosystems.
Next year. TiE 2030?
100 chapters and 1,000 TiE next-gen entrepreneurs.
Wow, very specific. I love the focus on youth. Amit, one regret during your leadership term, that's something you could not have done because of bandwidth or, disagreements. One regret.
Okay, I'll stick to the ones I can't put on a podcast. Honestly, no regrets. When I look back, one of the most enriching experiences of my years of my life.
Murli, your term is about to come to an end in a month or month and a half's time. Any regrets so far?
I wanted to have 100 chapters. So not there. That will be my regret.
You got to leave
75 is not
something
bad.
for continuity, Murli.
Exactly. And then I wanted to raise about $1 million of sponsorship. While we have the pipeline, we have created it. Not having the money in the bank is another regret. But otherwise, extremely happy.
Your message to whoever takes on the role of global chair, coming January. Any message?
I would just say two things. I think one is don't lose sight of the work that's already been done, and not just with Murli, myself. We put a lot of focus, our board, on work done over the last 10, 15 years. So we do justice to that. There's a lot. So don't reinvent the wheel every time, but have your vision, but focus on carrying everyone together. TiE is a collective. We are a federated structure of chapters, but it is not me as the individual that counts. It is not the chapter that counts. It's the collective power of the entire ecosystem globally.
Your words of wisdom?
Prantik, we have to create policies for the larger good. So larger chapters which are in the underserving markets have to be taken into consideration when we create policies, structures, playbooks. Whoever becomes the chair has to take that, not from the chapter they are from or that view. Now it has to become a lot more global. And travel.
Lovely. Last one. Lots of charter members, prospective charter members are watching this. Amit, what would be your sort of call to action to them?
Be part of the movement. And the more you give, the more you get. I'm a living example of that. And I'm not saying necessarily financially. There are so many other learnings. I never aspired to be anything. President of Singapore, TiE Singapore, or global chair. It just happened because I was doing what I thought I needed to do. And along the way, I learned a lot. I grew a lot. And I think the multiplier effect you get back for yourself when you give back and you bring people together, incomparable. So think about, and the one thing I would say is everyone can find their own sweet spot where they want to give back in TiE. There's no prescriptive method.
Your final words?
See, we don't know whether we will ever see the real God. But for me, the God is the entrepreneur, right? And you as a charter member have the ability to create the God. So be that person who can create the gods, who can, create a vague idea, a dream into reality, something tangible, something physical, which an entrepreneur. So you are enabling that entrepreneur. So be part of this movement, be part of that chapter as a charter member, enable those gods.
This could have gone for 2-3 hours. And I will tell you this, that I have had goosebump moments under this nice black shiny jacket of mine because I've had the privilege of working with both these gentlemen. I've seen the impact and change they've brought about at the global level and the city level. To me, what stays and rings true is the fact that, it would not be too much of me to say that if, today Mr. C.K. Prahlad sort of, looks back, at the House of TiE document, I think these two gentlemen have actually stayed true to those principles, but sort of have helped evolve the organization based on those principles. And I think he would be a happy man. And so would be people like Kanwal Rekhi, Vinod Khosla, and many others, the founding fathers, so to speak, of TiE. To me, the three key things that I take away from this conversation, I think the word catalyst and transformation. I think we also had a very candid, reflective conversation about what all can improve. I think, we are headed towards 100 city chapters, about the underserved economic communities. It's not just about the financial global hubs, but it's also about the Siliguris, the Nashvilles, the Bangkoks and Ho Chi Minhs. And I think look out for that. But I think we ended on a very interesting note where both spoke about the power of entrepreneurship. There's so much to think and reflect about, but I think to all of you watching, thanks for tuning in. And remember the call to action from both our chairs, that I think it's important for us to think global, think big, but act locally and to pay it forward by sort of contributing. That's the beauty of TiE. You can sort of create a groundswell movement. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.